Over the years, Leon Vance has charmed his way into our hearts, but we think it's about time we found out just who was underneath that stern boss exterior, and how did he end up as director of the agency? But most importantly, is he gonna be replaced? Well, you can find out his backstory and just what the fans have predicted for him in today's video. Hint, it's not nice. First up, the real star of the show. Sure, Gibbs is the main man on the show, but let's not forget that even he answers to someone, director Leon Vance. We were first introduced to him in season 5, episode 14, titled Internal Affairs. Back then, he was the assistant director of the NCIS, working under former director Jenny Shepard. When Shepard died, Vance was offered her position. Vance then went on to become one of the best directors we've ever seen. He's strict, but concerned with the well-being of his agents. While we appreciate Vance for his services in the present, we can't help but raise questions about his past. Just what did the charismatic director do before he was ordering around others? Next, what did Vance do before he was a director? Vance's story starts as a boxer in Chicago. You can catch scenes of him training as one in season 6, episode 18, titled Knockout. Leon later went on to attend the US Naval Academy, where he worked his way to the rank of second lieutenant. Looks like someone was crazy talented and dedicated to the case. Vance then was a student at Naval War College in 1991. It was here he discovered his interest in black operations. Soon, he caught the eye of Special Agent Whitney Sharp, who recruited him to the NIS, which, by the way, is the precursor to the modern NCIS. You can catch this part of his backstory in season 8, episode 9, titled Enemies Domestic. Vance was trained by Sharp for years before he went on to join the clandestine NIS mission codenamed Operation Trident. His mission was to track down a mysterious agent known as the Russian. It's during this mission that Vance runs into Eli David, who warns him of the Russians' intent to kill Vance. While we appreciate the early warning, Eli later betrayed Leon to the Russians. But before you go shouting traitor, it was Eli's attempt to lure out the assassin using Vance as bait. A genius plan if you ask us. Just not very nice of him to put Vance in danger like that. While Eli and Vance were able to corner the Russian, he managed to escape, but not without losing his squad. It's good work if you ask us. Moving on. How did Vance end up as director? Vance took over as director when Jenny Shepard chose to go on leave between season 5, episodes 14 and 15. Unfortunately, Jenny is killed during these 2 episodes, giving Leon the chance to climb the ladder. As his first new job as director, Leon scatters Gibbs' team to different assignments, giving him a new batch of agents to work with. Of course, that's not a move Gibbs was happy with, and it inevitably created a lot of tension between the two. But just as everyone took out their pitchforks to burn Leon at the altar, we learned that it was all a ploy to lure out a mole within their ranks. Still, the pair went on to butt heads later as well, mostly because Gibbs thought that his new boss might have been too close to Mossad. Interestingly, Vance had similar doubts as he thought Ziva was working for Mossad. Eventually, the pair learned to trust and respect one another, putting outside their differences. Season 7, episode 1, titled Truth or Consequences, gave the duo a chance to see each other as more than enemies as Gibbs and Leon teamed up to rescue Ziva. Unfortunately, that's all we know about our director. There's obviously more to him, but like most of their characters, the writers in the NCIS writing room are choosing to peel this one layer by layer. And you know what? We'll wait till they're done with all of them. Now, is Vance a good boss? Sure, he had some tensions with Gibbs, but the important question is whether he is a good boss or not. Well, frankly, we have to say yes. Sure, he is strict, but he remembers the name of his employees, and he makes sure to ask about their interests and hobbies. Other than that, he's not the type of boss to sit behind his desk and bark out orders. When Vance sends his agents into the field, he's right out there with them, and he never ever puts them in danger. Sure, his decision to reassign Hetty Lang at first made a whole lot of folks angry, but we soon learned that it was all to protect her from a North Korean assassin. Most of all, he's not one to get up in your face about tending to your family. Leon is a father himself and knows that his employees have a little outside work as well. And this is why Leon Vance is the best boss. We wouldn't mind working for him, you know. Moving on, fans have predicted the show's ending. With 20 seasons and 4 400 episodes under its belt, NCIS has been the longest running drama in television history. But you know what they say, all good things must come to an end. Relax. They haven't announced something like that at the moment, but it's a day that's gonna come sooner than later. Especially ever since Mark Harmon made his exit from the show, talks of that fateful day approaching have been picking up like crazy. And it seems like a few of us in the fandom have already thought of how it will go down. Let's take a look at fans' theories. Well, the running theory in the fandom is that Tim McGee will replace Leon Vance. Okay, that sounds pretty random. Well, for those of you who have been skipping out on all the latest episodes, allow us to fill you in. It all went down in season 20, episode 5, titled Guardian of the Show. Our dear Vance became a victim of a home invasion. However, being the skilled director that he is, Vance is able to fight off the burglars, even killing one of them. We'd say that Leon is well able to deal with things on his own, but Alden Parker was not so convinced. Worried, he decided to become Vance's protection detail as he traveled overseas for a conference in Berlin. Obviously, with Vance out of town, the director's seat was empty, but they couldn't leave it empty now, could they? The show must go on after all. Can you guess then who stepped in to take the role of acting director? Well, it was none other than Tim McGee. Now, most of us would have been head over heels about the promotion, but Tim wasn't. He wasn't a fan of the new job at first, but he quickly came around and learned that he might just enjoy it. Coming up, what does this mean? Well, for fans, this means one thing and one thing only. NCIS producers are foreshadowing the ending. Tim first became part of the team in season 1. Back then, he was a recurring character, but he quickly found a permanent spot on the show in season 2. Everyone's favorite Proby, a nickname courtesy of Agent Tony, was offered Gibbs' job when he left the show, but much to our surprise, he ended up turning it down. Instead, in his place, Parked ended up taking it. While fans had mixed feelings about it back then, they think it was a wise decision since the director's job is shaping up to be a better fit for the agent in their own eyes now. Now, what does the show have to say about this? Surprisingly, we're not the only ones thinking this way. After the episode wrapped up airing, the official Twitter account for NCIS tweeted a gif of the man of the hour saying, "I'm actually pretty good at it." The caption read, "Director McGee could have a nice ring to it someday. #NCIS. We think everyone got the message now. Fans were quick to respond to the tweet, writing about how it will be Director McGee in the finale. Others mentioned that it's not really a bad idea. There were some who straight up asked the account if they were foretelling, if only they could confirm the news. Finally, what's the fate of the show? As far as the fate of the show is concerned, we honestly have no idea. We've been in turbulent waters these past couple of years, with the show losing its Tuesday night primetime slot and Mark Harmon leaving the show. The real nail in the coffin has been the declining viewership, not to mention that there have been talks of Wilmer Valderrama leaving. Even Rocky Carroll is leaving. Still, that's all talk for the future. Right now, season 20 is streaming on Paramount Plus, and you catch up on the latest before you can. And while you binge watch the latest episode, you can think over whether Tim McGee makes for a good director or not. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.